Welcome to Podtail Podcast, where we tell tales about mental well being of all genders, ages, and today we are going to speak about aging and legacy. This is the season 10, episode 3, so don't miss it. So, today, talking about aging and legacy and exploring how men perceive aging and concept of leaving a legacy. How do they balance the pressure to achieve with the desire to enjoy life? For this, I am your host called Casey O'Neill Nyamunga. I have some dapper, handsome men around me here. Maybe they can introduce themselves.
Hi.
Hi.
So, thank you for giving me this chance at the Podtel podcast. That's a great opportunity to be here. My name is Flavian Kangogo. I'm a professional teacher. I did my Bachelor of Arts. I have an English and Literature degree. Then I'm a professional rugby player. Shout out to Trojans, rugby family. Then I'm a son. Think beyond that, I can't speak much further.
You're also a man. Yes.
Thanks for this chance. My name is Newton Wandabo. I'm a medic, basically stay in Eldoret, and I'm also a footballer and a football coach. So glad to be here.
Yes. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. So I'll just start off lightly. What does aging mean to you?
So, personally, I guess this notion aging, it has to be from my own perspective. No. So according to me, aging is the real definition is advancing in years through times. No. But here, what we don't realize is that time is a constant. It's actually our bodies which diminish. Ndio. Juu mwili dunia imekuwa, time has been there. But tuna aging personally kama mwenyewe sahi at my age nime age to that level, so kuna advancement. Ndio. Yeah.
Okay.
Guess that.
Good. And you, Mr. Wandabo?
Well, personally, if you go by definition, aging is the process of becoming older. So, and because I'm a man of science, scientifically, aging is time-related iteration of the physiological functions of the body, which renders one to be not able to survive life. So that is the scientific definition of aging. But on my perspective, I think aging is like a disease. It's a disease that needs to be slowed down. Yes.
Yes.
That is my perspective of aging.
Thank you. Those are very insightful words on aging. They are both right. And today we are talking about aging and legacy. So they relate to each other, they interchange each other. So legacy, what does legacy mean to you, Mr. Flavia?
So personally, it's not aging, it's legacy.
Legacy,
Yeah. So legacy, it's your purpose in life, basically. The impact that you want to leave behind as you grow older and as you achieve things in life. Yeah.
Okay, good, Mr. Ondabo.
Well, I think I agree with him. It's about the impact that you leave when you leave this world, something that you leave behind. Someone said that when you leave, you must leave a legacy. So I think it's the impact that you will be remembered for, rather something that you will be remembered for. Yeah. If I can give an example, we remember Wangari Maathai for planting trees. I think that can be taken as her legacy.
Yes.
Yes.
So just to point out a few things, you can see from WHO that 1 out of 6 people are in the aging bracket in 2030. By 2030, by 2040 or 2050, about 80% of the population will be part of the aging bracket now. So it's a matter that it's very good we are talking about it right now, because we are allowing each one of us to have an opportunity to have an impact in your legacy. As you said, legacy is what you leave behind. So what would you
by aging bracket, what do you mean?
Aging bracket, meaning aging is, I was coming back to the next question, whereby what age bracket is considered as an aging population?
That's a nice question. So aging, personally mi siwezi ona kama mimi kama Gen Z, mimi aging ni beyond your youth. You see, from tuseme 35 ndio huko, so no, that's why you have to start building something maybe as a personally. Juu nikifika hiyo age seme 35 and beyond, that's why I'll start actually focusing strictly on what I want to leave behind. No. But currently I can't say aging. Me, I'm still young. So at my age, I'm still young. I don't know about Mzee here.
Okay. Mzae, Mr.
Well,
Wandabwa, what is an aging bracket to you?
aging bracket, I think aging is a process. So you cannot really put a bracket on the issue of aging. But I think if we look at it in the perspective of the Kenyan government, people age at 60. 60 is where you retire from work. It means you cannot function well. Then I would also want to look at it in the sense that people become adults at 18 years. So maybe my age bracket will be 18 to 60. That is when someone is doing a lot of development here and there in terms of growing in life and also growing yourself around life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good insights. So the point I said about WHO was centered between the ages of 50 and 60. That was the age bracket they were focusing on. But we normally say in our African dialect that pia wajinga uzeeka, washenzi uzeeka. So it brings out an aspect that aging can also be coupled to their mental capacity or their mental how they use their mentality to change the environment, how your thinking is influenced by whatever factors, family, friends, environment, whatever it is, also affects aging. So would you agree on the same?
I think you're right, because basically aging, it has different faculties. There's aging mentally, aging body-wise, aging in terms of experiences. So I think your point is
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's true because we have various factors that affect aging. And aging, as I said, is a holistic thing. We have aging of age, you are growing older. We have aging where people, the body organs, for example, start to fail. We have aging in terms of reasoning, the mental capacity, as you have said. So, and there are several factors affecting this, like behavioral changes. Yeah. So, yeah, I think I agree with him.
Yeah, so you've mentioned behavioral changes and reasoning. So would you believe that younger people, 20s, 18, have to like welcome the idea of leaving a legacy, regardless of the age they are in, or do they have to wait and learn from the experiences?
That's a funny question, and it's a trick one, because I don't think there's anyone who is born and say when he realizes that he is now a human being, he'll sit down and say, I want now to leave a legacy of this and this. I think it's something that just comes by the natural process, because I mentioned Wangari Maathai, and we have so many other people who left legacies, like Einstein, Isaac Newton, for example, Martin Luther King. I think they had something that was driving them, which now the product or the end product is what now we sat down and said, hey, this guy left a legacy. So I think as you are living, that's something that you like doing or you like is unique about you, is what will most probably be your legacy. You don't sit down and decide that now in 2025 I decided I want to leave a legacy of. But I think partly when you age, you can also decide to change the way you do things, which you will know, you can know that they will be your legacy. For example, probably right now when I'm seated here, I must be thinking about my kids. How do I want them to grow? What do I want to leave for them when I leave this world? I think that will also be part of my legacy. They remember me for that. And I think legacy can be different from different people. For example, maybe you know me differently, someone else knows me differently, and my children know me differently. So maybe they might have different legacies, but most of the times legacies is just a common thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Would you say the same? Or
Mm, I tend to concur with him,
mm.
but on another point, you see, life is actually like a theater.
Mm.
Mungu alitengeneza dunia ikakuwa kama theater, and we are actually the actors. So in terms of legacy, we don't know what's next. So literally, we have to find purpose of what we have to achieve now. You see, because if you look at legacy as a whole, it's a long shot.
Mm.
Juu haujui how it will be in the near future. Then again, pale kwa umesema as a theater, niko na different characteristics
Yes.
to different people.
Yeah.
So kama niko na a different social groups, sindio, of friends, so different. Seme my rugby players, they know me differently. I'm creating a different legacy huko. So all across also the classes hivyo, seme nikiwa primary school, that's a different legacy. Then secondary school, different legacy. Then campus, different legacy. So people tend to see your legacy according to the period you actually associated with them, because most of the time we're not socially together. Unajua hivyo, juu mostly after primary mtu ameenda kwao, after secondary got different institutions. Then I think legacy, in terms of me, it's you build it up from bit by bit. What are you doing now? See? At the moment, yeah, as you grow.
Okay, that's good. So, just to point out, the CIAS, Italian Center for Sensory Analysis, says that the aging gap, which is 40 to 60, they focus more on current well-being rather than future prospects. That in mind, that is a study being done qualitatively. So, would you believe that there is an age gap or an age limit that once a person reaches this age, they cannot continue to pursue their legacy?
So legacy, it's not a time bound thing. You see, juu wanasemanga inaweza funguka akili nikifika 40. See, there are people who are making money after they have advanced in age. So maybe they probably wasted their youth, or nikiona na hii point here, let's say with our government currently, actually the government with its policies, it interferes with a lot of things depending on determining the legacy of someone. You see, like zile policies zenye ziko sahii, so I can't achieve anything without striving, and I'm not sure if I'll achieve if I strive. So maybe at this moment I may be striving to do something, but it's hard, but I might achieve it later in life. You see?
Good. Mr. Andaba, do you feel there is a limit to achieving a legacy?
Well, I think depending on what your legacy will be, Ama would be, there could be, but most of the time there is no limit to legacy, because he said legacy is not time bound. I would like to take us back to our topic, that how do men view legacy? Most of the time as men, when we talk about legacy, it is viewed in terms of the financial aspect. In that you cannot be said to have left a legacy when, for example, you've not left your children with anything to eat, or maybe a house.
Yes.
So, but legacy must equate financial.
Mm.
You can leave a legacy, a different aspect of life, in terms of maybe how you associated with people,
Mm.
how maybe you did something different apart from financial. But generally, you cannot dissociate legacy with the age, because, for example, right now there's something that I'm doing that I will be remembered for.
Mm.
We've said people can remember you differently. For example, my children, if I want to leave wealth for my children, I have to start now.
Mm.
That means if I used to hear that there's a poverty line, that life begins at 40, and therefore when you, you hit 40, you must have
Done
crossed the
something.
poverty line. Yeah. So I think there's an imaginary line. Yeah.
Poverty.
There's an imaginary limit for legacy as well, depending on what you want to do. For example, if today I hit 40, I don't have any savings, for example. I don't have any properties bought. I have not grown career-wise. Then, when someone sees me on a normal day, he will say, he'll give me maybe a 2 out of 10%. But this guy worked for maybe 20 or 15 years, and he has not achieved anything for these 15 years.
Period, yeah.
And therefore, it means by the time I'm doing 40, then I'm realizing I have to save. Whatever I'll achieve after maybe I'm 60 might not be like what I'll have achieved if I started saving at 20.
20, yeah.
Yes. So maybe if you view it in that perspective, it could have a limit.
Okay.
But if your legacy maybe is just to, let me put an example of Mariga, for example. Mariga won even Champions League. So his legacy as a player is different. He has a legacy.
Yes.
Some of us grew up wanting to be like Mariga.
Yeah.
But now Mariga is the deputy president of the FKF Kenya. Whatever he's going to do for this maybe 5 years term or 10 years term, will build another legacy that will be remembered.
Yes.
So you can say, oh, Mariga as a player, he did well, he won Champions League, he gave us a vision. But Mariga as an FKF leader, he did nothing to the country.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see,
it will even out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are strong points.
So nataka niongezee kwa hiyo point yako. So you see in life, as a theater, we're the main characters of your life.
Yeah.
So kila mtu ako na different purpose in life. So you're created to achieve something. Na hiyo legacy yako, ndio maana you can't be kuna ministers, kuna president, kuna nini. So we just fill the gaps kujaza the whole equilibrium, unaona? You see, kuna balance. You see? Yeah. So then kwa hiyo point ya who's the current FKF?
It's called Hussein Mohammed.
Oh.
Yes. So I have a question for you. You've said you must have a purpose. So my question is, could that purpose be a limit, or could the time you've taken to realize your purpose could be a limit for legacy, for example? Because I'm assuming Kipchoge, I don't know what he was doing when he was young. I am assuming he's old. We've just seen him run when he's old. So maybe it is a purpose that he realized late, or is it something that he was working on when he was young? Yeah. Do you think that can be a limit? How long you take to realize your purpose? Or do you have a purpose, for example, yourself right now?
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
You see, najua tukiangalia na ile aspect ya lazima uachieve kitu through a period of time. Venye ulikuwa natuambia kama Mbappe, those players in top leagues, European top leagues.
Yeah.
Those guys are young.
Yes.
Ndio?
Yeah.
But ulituambia wakiacha ball sai,
we'll still remember them.
So you still remember them?
Yes.
So I think nimekujibu.
Okay.
Good points. Okay.
Nilikuwa nimesahau kuongeza. So you know, men have been made to believe that the basic things towards legacy, that when ulisema financial, I'd like us to talk about that. Isikuwe ni wamemejor on some certain aspects and ina determine how legacy.
So Mr. Wandabwa pointed out that legacy can be tied to financial muscle, but also cannot be tied to financial muscle, in the sense that he gave an example of Wangari Maathai. Planting these trees didn't require any money. She fought with the government over this issue, so that is her legacy. So I think more people should also incorporate legacies that are not tied to money. because as you said, you can't try and build a legacy also, and you have not left food for your children. Yeah, so that is also a point. So we all agree that a legacy building and achieving a legacy is very important, but while achieving this legacy, we should also be able to enjoy our lives through this path, this journey. So my view on how you balance achieving a legacy and enjoying life: one, you employ self acceptance, you start living with purpose, as he has said, creating a legacy built on actions. So those are the main points I have identified. You as Mr. Flavian and you as Mr. Wandabwa, would you agree, add to, or expound on these particular points I have brought forth?
See, on that, uh, I'm still on the question under markers of success.
Okay.
Me personally, ndo ni achieve hizo vitu, I have my own standards what success is to me, because most people they follow what others do, you see. But in life, I'm always, most of the time I'm alone. Yeah. So I think a lot about my life personally, and I set my I have standards. I have set my standard goals that I'm intending to achieve in probably in a period of time. But I'm not in any rush to go to something. Then ikuwe shida tena. You see, I cannot put all my focus on one thing, because legacy, you can have different types of legacies. That's what I was saying. I'm a sportsman. I'm an academician. Yeah, I don't know what life has to offer in the near future, but we just see.
So how would you balance
Balancing.
achieving that?
See, I've told you I'm taking things step at a time.
Yeah.
Step at a time.
Mm.
So if something becomes difficult or hinders my movements, I do away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
So I
about
focus on another thing.
Good, good, good. How about
Well,
you?
I think being born a man,
Mm.
first of all, is I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like there's already some pressure that you receive on your shoulder when you're born a man. That I want to conflict with his reasoning. When you're born as a man, there are already men who have done things. Yeah. When we were young, we could see the likes of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and the likes. When if you're playing football, for example, I'm sure when you're playing rugby, there's someone who inspired you to do rugby. Probably you could have known the rules of the game. So there is kind of when you talk about legacy, I think we also have to incorporate the role models, and someone's role model, I think, decides the bar or the limit to what one wants to achieve. For example, when we were young, we used to be asked, what do you want to do to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor, probably because you've seen a doctor somewhere in the village. You've seen that a doctor has a car, a doctor has land, cows and stuff. So when your life, you're growing up, you were working to be like that person. Yeah. But now the reality of life now comes in. Yeah, when you have to be bright, even if you don't have light at home to study, for example. You want to pass exams when your parents cannot afford going to great schools. I think the balance starts from there. That you have to learn to balance. That my parents don't have enough money to take me to Miranda, for example, but I've gone to this county school, and I want to achieve to be the best, so that if you take me to Miranda, at least I'm around top 50 or top 100, and I'll still perform to have maybe an A or an A minus. So it is realizing yourself where you are, as you have said, and accepting to do a step at a time. For example, right now in Eldoret, on weekends you'll see a lot of men going out to drink. If you walk into Tamasha on a Saturday night, you may almost think that you are poor. Because because you probably cannot afford to buy the high-end drinks that people are drinking, but you are dressing well. Yeah. So first you must accept that I'm also looking good like them, but I cannot afford what they are drinking. So let me just have my Balozi or something and go home. So once you accept that, the next time you'll have something to fight for. You want to also to be able to achieve to buy the drinks that they're buying. So you want to know what are they doing to buy the drinks. So if it is having an extra coin, if it is making an extra coin, if it is getting a better job, you will strive to achieve that. So I think the people who are ahead of us decide a lot, or impact us a lot in terms of what we want to be, and the legacy we will also leave behind. Because if we grew up and maybe people are just having mabati houses and that was it, we wouldn't want to have a permanent house. We'll be comfortable where we are because we know this is what is yeah, this is what is there. Yeah.
So I think to add on that, those people who wenye wanapiga sherehe tamasha, think most of their business is a laundry business.
Laundry. Why?
Think about
Why?
it.
Why laundry?
Why laundry?
Wash.
Wash. Okay,
Yeah.
sawa.
So I'm still on that point.
Okay.
So in terms of role models,
Yes.
you see, definitely my role model has to be older than me.
Yes.
He has to have achieved a standard amount of stuff to be my role model.
Yeah.
But the issue is I can't follow my role model. You know why? Because you see, at the times things were slightly
the paths were
let's say,
different.
yeah. So now we're living in completely different times. See? So if I have to make it to be like my role model, I'll have to do the thing thrice or twice as much as he did. You see?
But at least you listen to someone.
Yeah,
who
I
did
listen
it.
to him, but yeah, I can't and I won't follow the steps because
That is
it has been made difficult for us.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah.
So you can see here at Podtail, we speak about realistic things. We try to build our own legacy by trying to associate with the real issues affecting our youth, our old age population, and our younger aged population. So I'd say personally, making authentic choices, practicing gratitude, being tolerant, staying active towards your purpose, learning and defining your path, aligning your actions with your legacy, passing on the wisdom you've gained, and also developing a good reputation all go a long way towards building a good legacy and balancing it with enjoying your life. So this comes to the end of our podcast. I will let my panelists here to say a few words and maybe tell us the legacy you're looking to leave behind. So I'll start with Mr. Fabian here.
So according to me, there's a thing I wanted to talk about. In terms of legacy, ati wanasema ati if you can't buy something twice of it, it means you can't afford it.
Yeah.
What if I want it now? So I'm actually, you see, kama wazee wanasema ati you save for your future. What if I want that something now? The future can wait.
So what are you going to do to have it now?
As in, same.
You want a car now?
Not a car, not necessarily a car.
For example,
I'm saying in terms of enjoyment.
Okay, enjoying.
Yeah, enjoyment.
But having a car is also enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's a different level of enjoyment.
Okay, you want to buy something. Give an example.
I could have used Tamasha things, but
yes.
due
okay,
to copyright issues. Let's say, naambiwa ati, let's say a simple example, a pair of shoe. I want to buy a pair of shoe, but if I buy this pair of shoe right now, I'll go broke. So I'll have to wait again later. So why not buy it now? Then nivumilie. Then still get my points. Then on legacy, I think legacy has been made sound like something that it has been pressurized basically towards men, because men suffer a lot through different things. No maana unaona most of the men wale wazee wa kitambo now it's the time that they are enjoying the now wanatafuta legacy sahi. Mostly it affects career people. You see, you've been in your career all that time, so inafika time yenye career inakuwa nachoka. Unaona uze? You see, ndo maana men wameflock universities wanatafuta wasichana. Unaona? Because wanataka kurelive what they couldn't live back then. So unaona, ndo wanasema mimi personally this age I'd rather do my things than in future itajipanga tu. Mbele kuzuri.
Very nice. Very nice. You, Mr. Ndaba, what legacy and your party shot?
My parting shot will be that men, we need to find purpose and focus on it, and also that we must leave a legacy behind, at least something you will be remembered for. And I think when you talk about men, there's legacy that you legacy is basically something that others something you do to others, but then there's also something you do to yourself. By yourself I mean you and your family, your immediate family. So normally you must maybe find land for your family. You must educate your family. Those are the fundamentals. They remember you that you took your kids to university or something, but also have something that people can remember you for. And when you find that something, do it with focus. Because I was sitting with someone, an employer somewhere, and he was saying, in the current generation, if you find, if you give a 25-year-old lady and a 25-year-old man job, in 6 months' time, they'll not be the same. The lady will have advanced because they are more focused on their personal life. They are more focused on the job and everything around them, unlike us men. Yeah. Us men, after 6 months, will be deep into betting, will be deep into alcoholism and debts. And on the contrary, the ladies will have maybe even added a certificate here and there. They have gotten a promotion. Yeah. So the way, I think the way the current generation view life, men and women, is very different, and we need to talk to men. We need to talk to the young men to be focused on their purpose, because if you start working on your purpose early, then definitely you'll have it. Because if you look at the current life, if we give ourselves 10 years, we'll have a lot of problems in this country if we are not focused as men. So, and personally, for me, I'm a lover of sports, football. I would want people to remember me for that, and to be remembered that I united people through football, as you know. Where I work, I've united people through football. Even in different counties in this country. And also, if I get time in future, I'll want to go back to coaching full time. It's only that now I can't do it because I have to look for money to have a legacy.
To have a legacy.
But yeah, I'd like to go back to full time coaching, and also like to have a good family and an educated family and leave something behind for them. Yeah,
that is good. So that wraps up the Podtail podcast. It's been the season 10, and as we say, 10 over 10 minus nothing. So it has been me, your host, Casey O'Neill Nyamunga. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Ekata kwa katululu. We are there.
Shout out to Donald Trump for bringing sanity.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donald Trump for bringing sanity. It's such a nice time to be alive. And his inauguration yesterday, sanity and order back to the world. That's the best thing that has ever happened in a while.
Nivo. Tupatane. Podtail.